Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us all over the world. Thanks for joining us today as we take you on a trip across the money spinning world of sport. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let me give you a quick rundown of what to expect on the show tonight. Well, it's been the worst kept secret, the National Sports Festival, that the dates would be shifted, and it was shifted, but now the Presidential Task Force is giving reason for allowing the event to hold in spite of fears in certain quarters that the presence of COVID-19 around the globe, with that, it's dangerous to have the event. But of course, we'll listen to the PTF justify why the event can now hold in January. We'll talk about table tennis, talk about the Asoju Oba Cup, the 52nd edition. A lot of interesting things happened today. We'll talk about that. Winners have emerged in the men's category and the women's category as well. As we speak, match is currently going on in the UEFA Champions League. We'll talk to you about that as we go on the show. When there are things of note, we'll let you know. If things happen, we'll do our best to let you know and, just bring everything into perspective. We'll also talk about the IOC. Thomas Bach will run unopposed for a second term in office. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Russia, what's happening with Russia and the things they're trying to do to clean up their image. We'll talk about all of that for you. And hopefully, at some point, we hope to be joined by a seasoned sports administrator in Nigeria, but I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet. We hope to get his thoughts, his perspectives on things happening in Nigeria, especially the Nigeria Professional Football League. That's the outlook of the show today, and we promise to make it worth your while as you go along this ride with us this lovely Tuesday evening. Once again, I want to say thanks for joining us. Let me quickly introduce my partner with me here in the Lagos studio. Kende Idris joins me again. Always a pleasure having him around. Kende, so glad you could join me today out of your busy schedule, I understand, but you still made out time to be here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always lovely sharing the studio and topics bordering around sports. Always good to talk about it, and it's good to be here again.
All right, so let's just dive straight into everything we're looking at today. National Sports Festival, to be or not to be, but now we know it's going to hold. And the ripples of the decision taken, a lot of people were waiting on the Presidential Task Force and, wanted to see what decision will be taken as regards the National Sports Festival. There were frustration in many quarters. Even critical stakeholders were beginning to voice out their frustration. The hosts, as high as the deputy governor of Edo State, even at some point, said, look, whatever you guys are doing, let us know so that we can have a clear picture. But all is laid to rest now, but the PTF is explaining the reasons for the decisions that they have taken. Let's just listen to them, and we'll come back to look at the impact of that decision.
Over the past weeks, discussions have been held about the safety issues pertaining to the National Sports Festival, scheduled to hold in Benin, Edo State. New dates have been agreed upon early in 2021, before which measures will be put in place to minimize infections. We were quite concerned about the figure of athletes that were going to congregate in Benin, about 12,000 within the period of the festivities, with a lot of people returning home from Europe and America. And we felt there was need for absolute caution, more so that the athletes were going to stay in hostile environments.
All right, so that's it. Boss Mustafa Ed, chairman of the task force, explaining the reason for allowing the games to go on, in spite of the fact that a lot of people feel that we may not be able to handle the unique challenges that will arise with hosting a major sporting event and where it might be a bit difficult to follow some of those safety protocols. Well, all is laid to rest now, Kennedy, and he has defended that decision. I do agree that majority, a lot of the people actually wanted to hear this, but the few that are afraid of the outcome of mass gatherings still remain, pessimistic and a bit skeptic with a lot of things going on.
When it was to hold the match, the expected crowd was left at 11,000 people at least. Now we're having contingent fans and all of that. When it comes to the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, we'll be having about 11,000 people converge at the place. And that is massive considering the capacity of the stadium, considering the Nigerian terrain and all of that. So that was a worry. And we knew if sports gets to be opened up again, the same enthusiastic fans back then, they are still enthusiastic till now, and they will still want to be at stadia, except for strict measure. But Boss Mustafa, who sometimes some days ago or some weeks back said, no, the National Sports Festival cannot hold. We are not having that discussion right now, has now come out to say, now, what I like about this is there is like a procession, like now we've seen that we're doing better testing, we're doing better with wading off, community transmission and all of that.
Spread, yeah.
Community spread. So if we're getting it better at this level, then maybe with a little here and there precautions, measures, then we can now go on with, okay, there will be the National Sports Festival. Because one of the reasons why a lot of persons are skeptical, National Sports Festival, like Olympics and all the likes, there is a reason why they are called a festival. The fans meet with the athletes. It seems like that's like a meeting point when it comes to sport.
Sure.
So many sporting activities do not really have that. But a festival, you have a chance to have everybody.
A carnival
travel
atmosphere,
from,
yeah.
It's a carnival. Travel from anywhere. That is why if you still left at a carnival level where you cannot say athletes just come and participate. Coaches come with, okay, you have 3 athletes that want to participate in this sport. The 3 of you and the coach should come. No. The festival has to do with a lot of, you have people who are chanting names and all of that, moving from one point of the state to another,
Unrestricted
where you're
movement.
interacting and all of unrestrictable movement. So that is the skepticism for a lot of us. We feel there is no way still that you can manage. But now, it's getting slowed down. Yes, maybe we still talk about
and one or two measures.
Maybe the testing is still not up there, but still we're seeing that, okay, we're testing around the places that have been doing testing. We're seeing that the numbers are going down. Then, like you just said, and I've said earlier, measures, precautions will be put in place to just cover all of this. And if the PTFO had said, no, are now saying, yeah, then maybe it is something we can be a bit relaxed and see how they are planning to, go about the whole activity at the end of the day.
All right, so it's confirmed now the event will be held. And just a note of caution to everyone. I mean, we have to still follow all the safety protocols, act responsibly. Yeah. When you do that, you're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting
empathy for your society.
Every other person. We must not drop our guard.
No, we must not.
We must not say it doesn't seem to be affecting us as much as it's affecting probably people in the US,
or
in the
France,
UK,
India, and all of that.
We should not start comparing ourselves.
One of the
with those
lessons is, especially for taking from the climbs that you just mentioned, one of the lessons, you should even be more responsible than you've ever been.
Yeah.
Now, for the athletes who will be coming, for the fans who will be coming, everybody should understand that sense of responsibility at the very high. So when you put all of that, I'm responsible, you are responsible, he's responsible, we'll do things. Where we need to wear the face mask, shield, nose guard, we'll wear them. Where we need to sanitize, wash our hands, we'll do them. Where we need to social distance, we'll do them. So when we put that sense of responsibility in our mind, with the help of the PTA, with the help of the organizers, putting measures in place, maybe you'll find wash and basin sinks, all around, where you can easily, in every maybe 5-10 minutes, you have
Enforcement of
access to
social
it. So,
distancing.
exactly. So, you have the sense of responsibility coupled with the measures on ground. Then we go ahead and have a fantastic festival without chaos.
Yeah, hopefully that's what's going to happen. Even though we continue to say personal responsibility is key. In spite of all the rules, in this climate, sometimes people find a way to,
to be a bit careless.
Careless and just go around some of these
exactly.
things. Because even at the level of the organizers, some of the things they've put in place is enough if a lot of people are personally responsible. But so the games will go ahead. So let the games begin. That's what we always say.
And like with the media, it's almost like what choiceless who will be there. So maybe this whole advice
it's
even starts from us.
For us.
Yeah,
it's a new experience.
It's a big advice to us to how to put your guard up there when it comes to shielding yourself, and as you're shielding yourself, you're shielding other people. So
yeah. The quest to get the news is always there, but of course, safety first
is always in front.
That's key. All right, let's go on and talk about the oldest sporting event in Nigeria, the Asoju Oba Cup. Table tennis in full effect. Everything. Grand finale was today, 2-day event, and so in action. Right there on your screen, you had. One of the ladies, showing that she's still the best. I'm talking about Odusonya. She's now, Bosse Odusonya, setting a new record, winning this event for the 6th time. And it's no mean feat. It's a remarkable achievement. And former champion Ahmed Adeyinka as well reclaimed his title. He had won a couple of years back, not been able to get to the final and win. But of course, he got the job done this time out. And I'm impressed that this tournament still is powering on strong, in spite of the fact that, the brain behind this is no more with us. I'm impressed that the family has kept this alive, and I'm very, very happy that, the standard still remains very high.
And even after it got late, the incentives went even higher. That's to tell you the family is determined to even keep that legacy, shining brighter every now and then. And you find us, there was a joke some weeks back when the 60 icons of sports were celebrated, and the man Molade Okoya Thomas' name wasn't there.
And we're wondering,
and we find a lot of table tennis players' names who are there. Yes, there are players
who passed through.
Yes, who passed through, the Asoju Oba Cup. But it is what it is, case for another day. But look at what the family, keeping the legacy and still ongoing. Now, the pandemic almost did not let this event, almost did not let it happen. But the children, their team, the management called each other and said, we don't want to break the news where it's been there since the inception. It's the longest serving. Now you would have to say it's been there, but there was a year it didn't. And then they had to come. Now, this is the reason why I ran for 2 days. Manage the whole situation, keep it lower, because you find people coming in. For 5 more days, the tendency of something breaking out or carelessness is higher.
Yeah, people relax.
You get it in small, lower number of days, 2 days, and still the fanfare, the turnout was that was why I said the fanfare, and also the fanfare was massive, and you can't take out the quality of the tennis. Yes, you can say Bosse Odusonya had won 6th edition, but have you? Maybe in your comfort zone, you might feel it should be boring. She strolls in there. No, Bosse does not stroll in there. Bosse is as good. Last year at the Asoju Oba, then also the HOS Head of Service competition in Lagos State, Bosse had vast, opponent, and she had to go through. Now, if you understand table tennis very well, no matter how good you are, if you dare have a bad day, especially in that final, then you're gone, because it's a knockout cold. There is no, no second chances. If Bosse does this over and over again, then she keeps her psychology intact, she keeps her mentality intact, and she keeps herself fresh. You need to stay with her and see how athletic. For Adeyinka, You know, sometimes you get to that rise, you go down and all of that. But one of the hallmark is for you to continue fight. It's always been there, but not getting to that point. Now you've gotten back, and it's sweeter when you come from adverse condition. 2020 has been tough on everybody. The winners of the Asoju Oba Cup in 2020, trust me, whether you've won before or you're a serial winner, it tastes sweeter because of what you've gone through over this year. So
I agree with you.
Bosse and Odusonya and Adeyinka, fantastic and congratulations. And, you know, this competition just keeps rising.
All right. Let's listen to some of the critical stakeholders, some of the organizers, from Lagos State representatives, and the winners as well. We'll listen to all of them, and we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
I'm very, very happy to be the champion of this year. But I've won it twice, back in 2015, 2016. But since then, I've not had the chance to go to the final. But I got to the final last year, but I lost. But glory be to God, now I can reclaim my title. The journey is not really smooth, but glory be to Almighty Allah. I believe whenever I train, then I pray everything will be possible. Then the journey was somehow rough, but thank God.
I'm so excited for winning this tournament because I've been training hard for this competition, and I pray to Almighty God to help me. Then I'm very grateful for winning this tournament. When I'm playing, when I'm on the table, I normally pray to God that God help me in this game. That's all.
It has been very exciting and very interesting. I mean, it's one of those things that we hope for. This has been a very difficult year, but now that notwithstanding, we say very big thank you to the family of Okoya Thomas for still having faith by hosting and sponsoring this year's edition. It's a big one for us and for the kids of Lagos.
The motivation has been that we didn't want it to be in the record books that there was a year that it did not hold. Good as it may, the state government and the federal government has released guidelines under which sporting tournaments can take place. And I know that through the Lagos State Sports Commission and the Lagos State Table Tennis Association, all the requirements have been met and they have been followed throughout the short tournament that we had this year. But it was important for the family that this competition did not have a break.
All right, you listen to a lot of people in there. Bosse Odusonya spoke, winner in the women's category. Ahmed Adeyinka, winner in the men's category. You listen to Toyin Gafar, that's the Director General, Lagos State Sports Commission. Then you have Deji Okoya Thomas, Chairman of the Asoju Oba Cup. And just like Idris said, they didn't want a situation where you're entering the records, when you're entering all of this into the record books, we're going to say there was a year that this thing did not hold. And that's why you saw the Lagos representative thanking the family for
keep faith.
Keeping faith with this tournament and ensuring that it go. And I mean, you have to always hail the commitment of the family to this cause when somebody who was the face, somebody who was the driving force behind this.
Who's got the idea,
it's no more with
the
us,
dream,
but the children, the family, they keyed into it, and we're here talking about it. And I know it's going to be with us for a very, very long time.
For a very long time. And the entire family keyed in as easily as possible. I'm not saying they are not sport lover. I'm not saying they are not table tennis lover, but dreams shift. The man who's got the idea, probably after I left, some people will feel, why not switch to some other sport? Why not have this? It's still as fresh. I'm sure if Molade sees what is going on, he would understand, wow, this dream is kept as fresh as... The only thing added is that you kept adding some spicing.
Innovations.
Innovations to get it. And that gigantic trophy, it would always catch the attention of anybody. We wait till the end to just see that trophy come out, and you would ask a trophy that is almost as tall as the winner or the winners always. This is like a point or like a cynosure of the Asoju Oba Cup. And like you said, it would always be here. If this year can go like this, and they still found a way. Short period for them to organize, and they came out with this kind of organization. I'm sure we won't find any year like 2020 again, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So
by the special grace of God.
if this can be managed this way, then definitely years that go just the normal way, we would have Asoju Oba Cup as easily as possible.
Okay, as easily as possible. All right, so that's it. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return, still a lot for you on Sports Tonight. Join us again. All right, welcome back. Before we leave the tournament altogether, I mean, both of us are impressed that this went on, and you look at it, it's our job here to always do a critique, and a critique is not necessarily that you're going to say something negative. With how high the bar has been raised, do you think there's any other thing that the organizers can do to raise the bar even higher? Because even looking at it, like you said, and like I've seen, a lot of people have seen, looking at this tournament, the way it is, everything that has been put in the innovations and everything, you struggle to look at things that could make it better. But there's always space and room for improvement. In fact, the biggest room is the biggest room for improvement. But as you're sitting here, you think there are areas it could be improved upon?
Maybe it's hard for me to point out. Yes,
it might take a while to think about it.
It might take a while because it attracts the creme de la creme when it comes to table tennis in Nigeria. Whenever this competition is up, everybody who wants to be up there, I've got a chance to show the entire country what they are made of. Because if you're there, and probably you win or get to, some high points.
It's a springboard.
It's a springboard. Everybody wants to talk about that person. You can remember the last year's winner, the Army officer, the celebration by him, and also the entire, Army setup who were there. And after that point, it shows you how they know him. They know what he can do. But showing it at this stage seemed like, wow, so you're this good. So I think maybe incentives might just be, another way to, because we know almost every now and then they tend to add one or two more things to just encourage whoever is putting in for the competition. Maybe it can now spill to, as long as you're in for this competition, there is a take-home, there is something for you to, go with. So, like you said, maybe you will struggle to pick out one or two. But another thing I would like to see is, yes, the Molade Okoya center in the Teslim Balogun Stadium is as beautiful, is as huge. But maybe I want to see a place where you go and it's all about table tennis, and it is Molade Okoya. That is, whenever you want to have that competition, you don't have to say, I'm going to Teslim Balogun. Now you are going to
make it synonymous to table tennis.
It's like me saying, I'm going to the National Stadium, Surulere. Before you think of any other sport, you will think, okay, are you going there for football? Because that is majorly what it's all about. Maybe with that, maybe. I would really enjoy that.
Maybe is the operative word. So that's it. So let's leave that for now and talk about football. But I want to start on the domestic scene. I'm going to give you a chance to talk about our clubs on the continent, how impressed you were or how not impressed you are by what happened. And I think the best place to start is Plateau United. I think we have some of the clips. We're going to show it now. Of all the results, I think the one that I was disappointed. If you're not going to win at home, don't lose.
Yeah.
If you're not going to win at home,
in the worst case scenario,
don't lose, because it's hard enough to go to for an away fixture on an African continent, even when things are balanced.
Yep.
Even when things are balanced. Now you have lost your own game. Then you go to
the way.
Oh.
I think it's tough.
I don't know if I'm being harsh, but
yeah, I was about saying that.
I think it's over before it even started.
It looks like it. It looks like it. Maybe two clubs who look like they've got a chance: Enyimba and Rangers for me. For Kano Pillars
and
Rivers United. Sorry, for Kano Pillars. I cannot.
I don't know why I want to stay on this, because it's hot most.
Yeah, I want to.
Most.
Probably I want to come back to
this. Okay.
Yes. You know, when you're talking of big clubs, clubs who have got history in your local league, you want that history to at least transcend into the continent.
Beyond our shores.
Beyond our shores. Now, if you go to South Africa, you talk of the Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates, and we've seen years where they've been in the continent and they've shown that, okay,
Can
we're
mix in with
actually
the big
big in
boys.
South Africa. Go to the likes of, Ghana, Ashanti. You want to mention these clubs.
Hearts of Oak, some
Hearts
of those
of
clubs.
Oak, the way they've stunned the African continent. I think Kano Pillars is way, way big. And I'm sure not just Nigeria, we're sitting and feeling Kano Pillars is big. Some persons out there will be talking about how big Kano Pillars is. Kano Pillars is a sporting setup. We
Yeah.
can talk of their basketball, we recently were talking of
Bona
handball.
fide sports club.
This is how big Kano Pillars is. And at this point, this is a qualifier stage. It's not a group stage where we'll say it is the cream de la cream or the best of the teams that you're playing against. These are phases where you brush through as a big club and then go and meet other clubs who's got semblance of being big or who are actually big. And Kano Pillars cannot do this. I think it's worrying. It's worrying. For Plateau United at home, this is what we're talking about. See, one thing I saw in this game is just plainly match rustiness. When I mean match rustiness, I don't mean playing matches. I mean serious match rustiness. We have been playing friendlies, what's it called? Pre-season competitions. All this competition does not afford you.
And that was the goal that...
You cannot tell me you're playing that and want to go and play in the continent. This is where we put our football, Yemi. This is where we find ourselves. And trust me, whether we like it or not, some persons will be looking at our football today and be laughing. Countries around the world, we're talking of a Tanzanian club. Tanzanians would have read about Nigerian football, Nigerian clubs, sometimes in the past, where the likes of Cote d'Ivoire players, Cameroonians, Ghanaians, South Africans want to come to our league to come and play because of how viable, because of how high up there when it comes to being competitive
That was
it
back-
is.
that was
back then.
back in the days.
Yes. And now today, people build on their successes. People build on the things they've achieved or the things some setups in their country have achieved. If a club from from Ghana is doing anything today, it is tapping or building from what the likes of Hearts of Oak, Ashanti have done in the past. But we are not doing that, and this is our home. Now, if you go away, the Simba setup are saying, welcome, come down to Tanzania. And we'll make you understand what it is all about to
And
play
by
at
the
home.
way, Simba is a sports club too.
It's a sports club.
So-
And in recent time, I think Simba are one of those clubs you can really talk about their growth.
Yeah,
They are
very
growing
consistent.
in, geometrical,
In geometric proportion. Yeah, you know what?
so-
you know what? I guess we just leave it because even it's a struggle for me to talk about
It's
it
a
because
struggle.
The pain. I mean, I'm like I wanted. Okay, you had two in both competitions. Okay, at the end of the day, if they could scale past that preliminary round, then I mean, out of four,
So
we're losing.
now.
First leg, three of our teams
Plateau
losing.
United, simple breakdown. You need to go to Tanzania.
Score 2 unreplied goals.
You say that unreplied is where the whole struggle. Scoring 2 goals might not be an issue.
But unreplied.
Unreplied. Kano Pillars, you need to be in Kano and score at
two.
least 2
Unreplied.
unreplied.
It might not be enough.
Can you really prevent?
The other
can
side
you
from
really-
scoring.
These are questions that, and we know the away goal rule in the when it comes to continental football. You cannot in any way take it away. You get the away goal, especially they score first, you're already in deep trouble.
For every one goal they score,
And
the
still,
Pillars have to score.
we don't know when the MPFL will resume.
Okay, I'm not going into that.
Okay.
I don't want to go into that. You know what? We intend to start a series on the show where we let you know about some of the clubs. So today we want to start with Rangers, just show you a little bit of tidbits about Rangers, the Flying Antelopes, some of the things you probably know, but just in case you don't know, let's just give it to you. That's it. A little bit of information about us. We project into the new season. And Kaide is always saying what is on the minds of everybody. It's December 6th. Viable. Nobody has said anything, but it doesn't appear like it's viable. So now you have on screen, was founded February 25, 1970. The nickname, the Flying Antelopes, home ground, Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu. Now, their Twitter handle, we've accused some of these clubs that they're not active on social media and all the likes, but they have a Twitter handle. So if you want to know anything about Rangers, go right there and do that. Their coach, I mean, doesn't get better than having Salisu Yusuf, someone who's handled a lot of clubs on the domestic, work with the Super Eagles.
National teams.
Handled the Chan team. So
yeah.
It's great.
He understands the terrain.
He does. I agree with you, he does. And you have the captain, Tokpe Olushesi. He is their current captain. And
also a veteran of the league.
Oh, surely. And the administrator, that's the chief executive officer, Davison.
No nonsense.
I mean, he needs little or no introduction on the domestic scene. Let's also show you what Rangers have been up to. While everybody is... we don't know what everybody is doing because the league hasn't started, but they have to prepare one way or the other. So, Kaide, let's look at some of these names. Shedrack Asegbu from Abia Warriors, they brought him in.
Good signing.
Esco Achibong from Dakada. They brought him in. Femi Ajayi, also from Dakada. And NS Governor, another name that's very popular from Lobby Stars.
You see, I saw some recruitments like Rivers did, like Abia Warriors did, and now Rangers. I think I'm so impressed. I like the fact that from your signing, we can almost know how business-minded you are, where you're going next season. It's a statement of intent. It's a statement of intent. Even clubs that are to play, you already are shivering, thinking you've got a good team on ground. Now you're adding up this set, then you're definitely heading for something special. So I like this signing. Like I mentioned, the likes of Abia Warriors, the likes of Rivers United, I've loved, the signings they made. And I can't wait for this. This whole thing is whetting our appetite, and let us have this meal served in our front. Let's dish into it. Let the NPFL start. As much as we say people don't follow our football, trust me, some years ago when we had that night football at Agege,
wow,
I understood.
And one of the girls made it to CNN.
CNN. People came with their family, wife and kids, just because of the publicity. In spite of all the negative headlines,
yes, people came. Oh, it's not secure.
Do you know after that day,
people still came.
When people were leaving the arena, they said, "Are you sure we're in Agege?" Nobody
could believe
had anything that has to do with adverse, happenings.
Or anything
because
negative.
all of the guys who came enjoyed football and they were all smiling back home, talking about the goals and all of that.
By the way, pictures from Rangers, some of their training, some of their past clips. A lot of these guys, a lot of them still very much around.
These are clubs that have got some of the finest footballers we've got in the country. When it comes to Nigerian players playing in Nigeria, Rangers have got some very good number. Like the Olushesi, Godwin Aguda. You can mention a whole lot of them. And we just want to see you do this, on the daily basis. And then when you go to continent, you represent us well. This is where we should be. People are talking about our football, but whenever we present our football to them, it always seems like
we're always putting the wrong foot forward. The problem is not whether or not we have the quality.
Yes, it's not a question. The quality is there. It's never in doubt.
Administratively, we mess things up by ourselves.
Simply.
And, I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record. All of those things that you've said, if we play back our shows of 3 years, 4, 5 years ago,
we're saying almost the same thing.
We're saying almost the same thing, word for word.
We're already sounding like a broken record.
So that's how bad it is. That's why I didn't want to go into whether or not the league is going to start, because nobody's saying anything. A lot of confusion.
I was discussing with a colleague earlier today, and I said, we're way more talented than, when it comes to talent, than the South African football. They resumed their league. They concluded that they resumed post-COVID. They concluded that now they've resumed
started.
Now, awards. cricket, rugby, football, sports, all these awards have been earmarked to hold, to honor people who did well over the months, the weeks, the days in 2020. That is, some people have been seen to have done well. We are not even talking about concluding whatever. Talk more of honoring. Now, if you honor people, it helps them to do more.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You see, a whole lot, as little as it seems.
Kennedy, let's go to places where we talk about things that will not give us headache. Let's go to Europe and talk about the UEFA Champions League. We told you that matches are currently going on. So let's see if there's any update to give. We'll also talk about what's happening tomorrow. Of course, Manchester United will be... Okay, let's quickly look at... Of course, it's going on live. A lot of changes could happen even while we are speaking. So trust us, when something happens, we'll quickly revert and talk about it. But as it stands, Lokomotiv Moscow, RB Salzburg, I think that has ended. That's ended already. 3-1. Atletico Madrid and Bayern. Bayern has already qualified, so you can understand they're resting some of their
It was a stroll in the park. Let's just rest.
Shakhtar Donetsk,
I think that's
ravaged by COVID and everything, but they are leading Real Madrid. The last time key members of the team didn't play, they still beat Real Madrid. Now they're leading. Borussia Mönchengladbach
also,
and
Inter.
It's
a make or mark for Inter. It's good they are starting on this note.
Yep. They have to. Olympique Marseille and Olympiacos currently leading.
I think Villas-Boas is living dangerously. It might be one of the coaches to leave in no time.
I agree with you.
And that's the surprise. Atalanta against Midtjylland.
I wouldn't want to call it a surprise because Atlanta have not hit the heights of last season. Well, I agree with you.
It's worrying.
You still wouldn't expect Midtjylland to come to Italy and still be doing that.
And the final game, the Ajax-Liverpool. If Liverpool gets to lose to Ajax,
they will have to wait till the last game.
If they would qualify.
To be certain.
If they would.
To be certain.
Because
but if they
8 points they've got, 7 points Ajax have got.
the mathematics doesn't look good. But I know that whatever happens, if they win the last game, they still...
10 points, 10, 11 points secures.
Surely. Unless you have a whipping boy in the group and everybody's having 10, and all that.
But really, a lot of top teams are living dangerously. Like the Inter Real Madrid group.
Surely one of them will go down.
Sometimes I look at the group and I ask, am I sure I'm not looking at this group upside down?
You're not.
I'm actually seeing it from the way it should be. Mönchengladbach right there.
That's what happened. And that's why bookmakers, I try not to toe that line. I'm very careful with my predictions.
Yes.
I like to say it in private.
Of course.
Because something that you would have said, Inter and Real Madrid,
comfortably, before it started at all. Those are one of the groups that look settled.
You wouldn't think about it.
Yes.
But look at what is happening. All right, so that's football for you. That's why we love this game. That's why we love this game. It makes it very, very interesting. All right, so I think that's a good place to leave it on the show. Kennedy Idris, let me ask you, any last words, maybe on clubs on the continent, or any last words, parting shot, even as we go?
If I have my way, the clubs, the MPFL will resume, so that even if it's a game or two, competitive league game, it will help our
clubs,
continental clubs to do so well. Because clubs that they are playing have been playing either cups or league matches.
Some of them have even played 8-9 matches.
So
already.
If I have my way, it will start, so it will help them. Right. I want to see my clubs on the continent.
If wishes were horses, beggars will ride. That's what I'm going to say. All right, Kennedy Idris, I want to thank you for your time on the show.
It's always lovely being here.
Always a pleasure having you. I want to say a big thank you to you as well. Yes, you. Thank you for allowing us into your house without knocking on the doors. It's a privilege we'll never take for granted. Thank you. We'll see each other again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.